Okay, I think we've got quite a few that have joined. So let's get started. Good afternoon, everyone. For today's session, we have three of us from Ubersmith. I'm very grateful to our CEO, Kurt, who is here. Our CTO, Dom, is joining us today as well. I am the Business Development Manager. My name is Nicolette, and I've been covering marketing while Christy Ju has been on maternity leave with her first child, but we have her back this week, so we're very excited for that. It's been a great week, and now to kick everything off, I'll hand it over to Kurt.
Awesome. Thanks, Nicolette, and thanks everyone who joined us today. We're super excited to talk more about 4.6 with you and how it can help your business. Some of the key features here that we've highlighted, there's 5 out of a collection of 34 total new features or enhancements, which we're really excited about. There's these bigger 5 and then a series of smaller enhancements that do cut across the system pretty far and wide. For Salesforce.com, it's a one-way sync from Salesforce to Salesforce from Ubersmith, and we have plans to do a 2-way integration after we get some feedback on what we've released initially with the one-way sync. For the mobile version or the mobile view, it's of customers and tickets for smartphones and tablets. It looks great. We hope it's very convenient for you and your teams. And our VP of product and our support team are in particular excited about this to use it internally as we use Ubersmith to automate and run our business. And I'm excited about it as well. With custom payment integrations, you can now create for the first time your own payment integration using our plugin system for credit cards, for ACH, for P2P payment vendors that you use. As you know, we provide many, several dozens of integrations out of the box with Ubersmith, but we can't possibly integrate with everything that everyone can imagine everywhere in the world. You can use this, for example, for Bitcoin or other interesting use cases. And we have a development partner or development partners around the world who can help you if desired. We'll open up other parts of the system going forward as well, which we're excited about outside of the payments areas. Okay. Regarding the new version of OnApp, it's support by Ubersmith for usage or consumption-based billing, and we're glad to have updated that for you. We have updated global pay support for better credit card transaction security. And in addition to these and other enhancements, we have provided 40 plus bug fixes in our effort to provide the highest quality solution possible. Okay. For all the details in the release, you may have seen in our press release or linked from our customer email, which we sent out. But you can see on our website, on our changelogs area, under the support section, all the details and some descriptions that are hopefully really helpful. We have, in addition to the changelog, we have 20 plus new docs articles that have been either updated or created fresh and published for you. On this page for changelogs, we have 8 years of changelogs, actually going all the way back to our 3.0 release. And so it's got every major and every minor release we've done over that time period. And the number of releases here, counted them up for you. There actually is 73 of them. Okay. I recommend, if you haven't done it already, signing up for the changelog alerts directly from this page. You just type in your email address and you'll get notified immediately when we have a new release, which can be really helpful if there's a security update you care about or something else that you would like to know about as soon as possible. We don't, if you don't already know, we don't email blast all of our customers on every small release we have. We try to reserve that for the more kind of major and medium releases like this one today. And one specific tactical point, which is important on 4.6 in terms of upgrading, is to make sure, you can see at the top of our changelog, but to make sure that you back up your database before proceeding, of course. And now I'll hand it off to our CTO, Dom, to show the demos. Thanks, Dom.
My pleasure. Thank you, Kurt. So, hello everyone. Pleasure to see you all join us today. I figured I would give you a quick demo of a couple of key features that we've released in 4.6, hoping that they will help you run your business better and just make your life easier overall. So let me share my screen first. Oh, I will need the control.
Oh, sure. Let me do that now.
Thank you, Kurt.
You should have it now.
Yes, I do. All right. Here we are. So this is our demo environment running for version 4.6.0. As Kurt said, that we just released. The two parts I want to demo today are first the Salesforce.com integration, and second the mobile view of the system. So right away, let's take a look at what the Salesforce integration looks like. So I'm going to go to settings and navigate to my plugins. Here you can see that I've already enabled the Salesforce Exporter plugin, which I have previously configured. I should say I have previously connected it to a Salesforce instance. The connection goes through a typical OAuth authentication scheme, so it's pretty standard when known. It's very painless, and once you are connected, you have the possibility of, by default, it's going to connect in sandbox mode, but you can switch the system to production mode, which obviously will affect your production Salesforce data. So this is to be handled with care. This page here allows you to set up the actual exporter and the synchronization. We map fields and such. I'll show you that in a second. But also allows you to control the export. That's especially interesting for the initial export of the system, but also as you track ongoing synchronization exports as data is modified in Ubersmith and pushed to Salesforce. We also have the logs section, which allows you to troubleshoot or see anything that's been going on, and an help section that actually gives you some information on how the plugin works, and a link to the full documentation on our docs.ubersmith.com website. So as I said, the connection has already been created, it's already been established. I could disconnect and reconnect it here, but in my case, I can also access the instance that it's been connected to right by clicking here. But I'm going to jump straight to the setup and do a quick setup of the plugin, run through a pretty typical and simple configuration. So this setup has to be performed per brand. Right now, I only have one brand configured to use the plugin in this system, but you could have separate configuration for multiple brands if you so desire. The idea is that we first need to configure the external ID field that Salesforce and Ubersmith will use to sync up the different object entities. We'll then configure the matching rules. And finally, we'll just make sure that the field mappings between the two systems are accurate. So first, we're going to go step through these steps for the mapping the clients to the accounts. So very quickly, I've already configured the external ID field in Salesforce. You can very quickly see the instructions on how to do this when you first set up your Salesforce.com integration. It's just a question of adding the custom field in your Salesforce instance to where we're going to store the Ubersmith ID. So it's the foreign key, if you wish, back to Salesforce. In this case, we named it Ubersmith ID. Next, I'm going to move on to the matching rule. This is basically the rule that Ubersmith uses to determine which client is matched to which account in existing account in Salesforce. That's mostly important for the initial export, but is also used on the end and during the ongoing sync. So I'm going to try and auto-populate it just to see what it suggests to me. Right now, it auto-suggested using the listed company in Ubersmith, but it's basically the company name and the account name in Salesforce. I could, however, go and select something else. I could use any field that I have. I could use email, for example, and in Ubersmith, and match it to. There's maybe no email configured in the account in the sandbox, but I could choose any field that I wish here and just select the mapping. In this case, I'm going to stick with the listed company in Ubersmith and the company name, the account name, I'm sorry, in Salesforce, and move on to field mapping. Once the matching is done, just as a quick side note, the matching is then locked in by using the ID. So this is only for initial matching of for the initial export between the clients and the accounts. Everything is empty when I first come here, but I can auto-populate it and actually have it suggest to me a bunch of mappings. I'm not going to change those because they're pretty good, but you could customize those to just have them match to whatever field you wish in Salesforce if you'd rather use a custom field, or you could even also add a field that would look through an Ubersmith custom field to a Salesforce field, whether it's custom or not. So there's a lot of flexibility there. Just going to move on now and store the mapping for clients, and I just need to repeat the process here with the contact. So I'm just going to quickly go through it. So I did the Ubersmith ID field. Now I'm doing the matching. It's going to go using the full name. Again, I could choose to go with, for example, the email if that's my unique identifier. Move on to the mapping. I'm going to auto-populate them and use the default mappings. Save my configuration. And now we're ready to do the initial exports. So I can just follow this here. And then it's going to tell me that, well, no initial export has been done. Do you wish to go ahead and proceed with one right now or not? I'm going to cancel just to show you that I can trigger this here as well manually at a later date. So I could navigate back to this page to the export tab and just start the export sync. I could also schedule a complete export. And once the export starts running, or just as it goes on, I can go through the export, the logs tab, and actually view log information from any kind of activity that the plugin is performing in the background. I could, for example, navigate here, and well, obviously right now the data set is pretty empty because this is a demo environment. But the idea is that you would actually be able to see messages, errors, just global logging data. That's pretty useful to see what's going on, or to determine if an error happened, what exactly happened, what failed. And as I mentioned, if you ever get confused, please feel free to go to the docs.ubersmith.com site and search for Salesforce, or you can just click on this link right here to get all the information needed. As Kurt mentioned at the beginning of the presentation, the Salesforce exporter right now is one-way sync, but there are plans locked in to deliver a two-way sync in the second half of the year. And we're going to take into consideration feedback that we get from our users regarding this first phase of the plugin, and also take the time to make sure that the actual plugin is coded correctly as it responds to the needs of our customers and just does what people expect out of it. So this is for the Salesforce.com plugin. Now I'd like to demo the mobile view of the system. So I'm just going to stop this sharing for a second and switch over to my phone. Sharing my screen. There you go. So as you see right now, this is direct from my phone. This is Safari. I'm already logged into the demo environment. And we've concentrated the mobile view right now on two different sections of the system. First, the clients or the client manager views, and the support manager views. So everything that has to do with tickets, as we felt these were the two most commonly used on the road. But over time, we plan to extend those mobile optimized views to the rest of the system. So as you can see, the two sections are available here. Now, always have the ability to switch back to the desktop version. Right now, I'm going to show you a bit. So this is a list of client. I could go and filter by active, and deactivated. I could sort as well. But the idea is that I can go into my client and view the information right from there, which is much more useful a view than the typical desktop view viewed on a mobile for Ubersmith, which tends to be cramped and pretty small print and everything. We can also view support tickets the same way. So I can go into different queues. Right now, I'm looking at the all open tickets support queue, but I can submit a ticket or just navigate straight to an currently open ticket. So let's go to this ticket. as I can see the current settings of the ticket. I can see the actual exchanges of the ticket right underneath. So the initial ticket submitted. I can see the comments that were made and any replies. I can reply straight from here, so I could hit reply in quotes and just type in a message and send it to the system. So I'm just going to thank him, and then send my follow-up. If I navigate to the end, we can see that I actually thanked, I don't know, John or something. So the idea is that everything is now properly formatted. It's optimized for a mobile view for any mobile device. No need to zoom in or zoom out now on the screens. There's no need to kind of squint and see the fine prints. Everything is visible easily and on the go with Ubersmith. And that is it. This is available right now. And you can see more information about it on the docs.ubersmith.com website, obviously. And I hope that this, at least in a small way, simplifies your day a little bit. And that's it for what I had to show you today. Two of the main features that we had for 4.6, among many, many other enhancements. Kurt, back to you.
Awesome. Thanks, Dom. So 4.7 will come after 4.6. We've got some exciting plans, not just for 4.7, but several years into the future. So we're always trying to think 3, 5, and 10 years out. And for 4.7, we can share the general direction which we plan on taking. So regarding late fees, this is going to be a collection of a few things to add additional flexibility for you. For the notifications dashboard, we're doing some nice enhancements around efficiency and elegance for opt-in customer communications. The revenue summary report extends from the MRR types report that we released not long ago, and it's currently in the design phase. For Intact, this is in addition to what we do for accounting integrations or connections with QuickBooks Online and QuickBooks Desktop. So those are some of the things we're thinking about. There'll obviously be other things in there as well, probably smaller things, and things are subject to change, but we're happy to provide more transparency so you can better plan your business and know where we're going together. So at this time, I'll actually hand it back to Nicolette. Thank you.
Thanks, Kurt. So right now, we would love to hear questions. I'm assuming you all have lots of questions, so please send them all over on the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen. Thank you.
Okay, here's a couple of questions I see. Let's see, what is availability for 4.6? So 4.6 is available now. It was actually available yesterday as of when the press release went out at 9 a.m. Eastern time. So we've started to see requests come in for those who have questions or need a little bit of assistance for those who aren't using our installer to do the upgrade. So that's one question. Will there be a mobile app? So this is a question, I guess, related to the mobile version. This time we don't have plans for it. It's something we'd love to have, but right now we do have this. We're excited to have the mobile version and get some feedback from you, and hopefully hear that it's it's beneficial. Another one, is there a charge for any of these new features? No, there's no extra charge for these features. With Ubersmith, you pay for usage or consumption as you kind of go along, but we don't tend to charge for different parts of the system explicitly, which we do to keep things as simple as we can in the complex and shifting world that we live in as it relates to the cloud and subscription developments and everything else. Let's see. Nicolette or Dom, do you see? Can you see the other questions? I
Yes, I can, and I'm going to answer one right now. So it's been asked if we if we're going to support OnApp 6.4, which is fairly recently released, and the answer is yes. We are going to continue supporting your release of an OnApp for the foreseeable future. No reason why that would change. So there's a pretty good chance that you will see that in 4.7. Although with a bit of luck, maybe we will be able to deliver that in 4.6.2. Which is probably midsummer or early summer.
Great. Are you guys seeing any other questions, or is that good?
I think that's it. Great.
I think back to you, Nicolette, in 1 second. But thanks for me. Thanks so much for joining us. As we look to be the premier subscription management solution for the cloud and beyond. And thanks for spending your time with us. We want to keep it short and sweet. And so now I'll give it back to Nicolette to wrap up.
Yes, so that's it for our live launch event. Thank you all so much for taking the time out of your day to join us. We really, really appreciate it. And we hope that you have a great day ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.